Yes, people, AFTV, I'm speaking with Laurie. Laurie, we've just come off the back of a nice, healthy 2-0 win away from home at a team that we didn't get any points against last season. We didn't score against last season in the league. How you feeling, first and foremost?
Pleased, man, pleased. I mean, it wasn't the greatest of games, I've got to say that. That being said, though, I predicted a draw beforehand. So getting the win, not conceding, it's all good, man. But I've got to say, the game did somewhat surprise me because I thought there would have been a bit more energy about it. It was very sort of cat and mouse, very the two teams showing a lot of respect for each other. And Villa, to be honest with you, they had chances to put the game away, but they didn't take them. So it's one of those classic games of you don't take your chances, it's very possible you could lose. And that's what happened to Villa today.
It was a dull game in general, to be honest. Even as an Arsenal fan, I'll have to admit that. But as we got the 3 points, who cares? You talk about those chances Aston Villa missed. Talk about them some more because so far I'm talking to a few fellow Arsenal fans, and the common consensus, especially online as well, seems to be that David Raya was the man of the match, and he played a big part in a couple of those misses.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, that save he made from Ollie Watkins, the header, I mean, that was unbelievable. Probably save of the season. Certainly save so far of the season. And that's capped off a good couple of weeks for Raya because you remember in the game against Wolves, he made a very good save, a very pivotal moment in that game too. So props to David Raya. But yeah, Ollie Watkins, a game for him to forget because although it was a great save, if we're being honest, a striker of his ability should really be converting that. So yeah, it was a strange game, man, because like I said, I did expect more. I predicted a 2-2 draw. I thought there'd be a little bit more back and forth. The two teams seemed to show a lot of respect for each other. They weren't going at it the way I thought they would, but we'll take it all the same.
If it wasn't for Raya, it would have been 2-2 when you think about the two chances they
That's
made.
a good point, actually. That's a good point. But you know what? I've got to say, I'm pleased for Partey as well. I mean, we're about to sign Mikel Mourinho, and a lot of people have said that upon signing him, it could mean the end for Partey. So for him to come up with a goal today, that's great work on his part. I mean, it's possible that Emi Martinez should have done better with it, but it was still a very good shot. He bent it around the defender and made it difficult for Martinez. And yeah, good goal. And I've also got to shout out Trossard because we were calling out for somebody to come and finish, and that's exactly what he did.
Let me know. We've just spoken about Trossard and my fan camp, so let me bring this to another attacker we have that was on the bench, that wasn't used, that been on the cusp of a couple moves so far. You said something to me before the match. I don't know. I want to ask you again now. Considering Jesus' injury, what's your stance on Mr. Eddie Nketiah at the moment?
You always got to do this to me. You always got to put me on the spot.
Is it keep Eddie or sell Eddie?
No, I think Eddie will end up leaving. But it's interesting because I got a call from Curtis, shout out to Curtis today, and we were talking about it, and he was saying that Arsenal might need to keep Eddie if the injury to Jesus is serious. So as we know...
Was that Curtis's opinion?
No, he was just basically making the point that, listen, if the injury to the groin injury, and groin injuries, we don't know the exact nature of it, but it can take a while to heal up properly. So we could be in a position whereby if he's not able to play for a number of weeks, then the club might be forced to look at that situation again. But let's be honest, I think Eddie needs to go and play football. So if he gets his move to Forest, he will go with mine and I'm sure yours blessing.
I'm looking for a title here. So did Curtis say keep Eddie?
He didn't exactly say keep Eddie. What he said is that the club may need to look at that situation again in the light of Gabriel Jesus' injury and how serious it is or isn't.
Say no more. Moving forward, because that's something that will get sorted in the next 5 days, one way or another. I should mention the Jesus injury as well, and that definitely means surely another attacker is coming in this week, Laurie.
I'd like to think so. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know who else we can be linked with that we've not been linked with already. So I don't know, to be honest, where this striker that we're hoping to get is going to come from. We've been linked with Gyökeres, we were linked with Tony, we were linked with all sorts. Nothing's happened yet. Who knows? I mean, listen, we do need to bolster our attack in that area. And we saw today, we didn't look our strongest, did we, up top? So, listen, we definitely, over the course of a season, we definitely need to improve. I mean, Havertz had a good end to last season. He scored a goal last week. Wasn't at his best today. So there's no shade on him. But I think if we're being honest, we're going to be challenging for titles, Champions League, cups, etc., etc. We need to bolster ourselves in that particular era.
And let's look at the game before we wrap it up. Brighton next up, 6 out of 6 points as well for them. They've started the season strong. A couple more gems, it seems they found out of nowhere doing their thing for Brighton. Is that a foregone conclusion? The 3 points, are we looking too far ahead to Tottenham and City and worrying about that? In terms of Brighton recent record, we've turned it around. We've started doing well against them. I know there was a bogey team once in a while, but how do you look at Brighton come Sunday?
It's definitely not a foregone conclusion, although I would make us favourites to win, obviously, especially being at home. But it's interesting, Brighton have got a new manager, Ursula, I think his name is. I haven't butchered that name. Who's only a very young guy. I think he's like 31 or something like that. Yeah. I think there's about 5 or 6 players in the Brighton lineup that are older than the manager. But listen, I do expect a competitive game. Brighton have been playing well. Apparently they played really well today as well. So it's going to be a competitive game, but the way we're playing, the way we're looking at them, and today was a very impressive result when you consider that you're going away to a team like Villa, who a lot of people say will be, top 4 contenders this season. They've got a very good home record. They beat us home and away last season. Some people say that they even prevented our title run. So to go there today and get a result, not concede, it's an excellent performance.
And Welbeck's got 2 and 2 as well, ex-Arsenal boy.
Yeah. Another one that a lot of the Arsenal fan base were not too happy with, but listen, he's gone on and he's done good things. Let's hope if Eddie moves on, he can have a similar type of scenario where he gets goals as well, and I think he will.
Yeah, we'll see come Sunday, and we'll see what happens in the transfer market come Friday, and we'll actually find out the Champions League draw come Thursday.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
So there's quite a few things this week.
Definitely.
Yeah, make sure you're here, people. Subscribe and all of that, Laurie. Love as always. Come on.